Where Art, and today I'm talking about or studying art styles of other people, and probably discussing a concept that I have. What I love to start off with, got this from the public library. I'm not going to show all of it, I'm just going to show the parts that I really like. This here. Now most comic books, they don't, it's been a long time since a comic book has painted or used acrylic or watercolor. You see a lot of digital. You don't even see colored pencils anymore. It's suffering a cartooning. But I'm studying this for the ink as well as how they color render this. See the mountains up there. That's nice. Barely pick that up. I don't know, I think it needs to be stronger. But I like that style. And these are more like the classic styles I've seen in many of my independent comic book peers. Lots of heavy ink, almost I would say over ink. I can't be the judge of it. Yeah, I'm still working on that myself. But there's a reason why I don't put a lot of heavy inks and details in my books. I found that it was real hard to try to color it in the computer, and I couldn't afford the markers and the color pencils and pastels and the acrylics and the watercolors at the time. But that might be changing, so style has to change. I'm gonna go back here and check out some of the other more designs. Now this is what I call a classic cartoon. Real simple, very open to color. You can just, well, you can't go all out with this. Keeping it simple and keeping it colored simply, almost flat, works better with this. Not to say you can't just, you know, do something even more. But I definitely want to get into heavy inks. And this is where this page comes into and why I'm showing this book. This is nice. If I can get to this level of inking again, I will be very happy. Yep, there's the artist. You don't see any comic book art doing this kind of work. Most of the times because it takes a long time. A lot of companies want to pump out a book a week, which sometimes is great, but sometimes I think it's overload. Not just overloading the artists, but overloading the buyers. You know, kind of the concept of business. You got to think of it as a business practice. Too much product out there, you have to lower the cost or suffer too much inventory and no sales, because nobody wants to buy the book, because by the time I buy this book, the next book comes out. I don't even have enough time to read this book before that book comes out, and then I don't have enough money to even get the next book. So since I'm not a big company, nor do I have a major following, I got options, and that's where we got to take advantage of being an independent small artist. You have options. That would be, I've seen a lot of artists do one pencil work and realism, but you don't see their books very often. You have to virtually dig for them. You won't see anything like this anymore. Not because it's digital, but because time. Speaking of sad, now this book is a real eye-opener to art. Comic books could be very much a level of art that could be very enjoyable, even though it's more of a book than it is a painting. It's still worthwhile. I'm not going to go too far into showing things. You can go get this book yourself. But you don't see anything like this anymore. Rarely. This is the water paint style that kind of a wash. I don't think it's gouache, but it's a wash. Definitely a gradient there. But you don't see watercolor that many times in a comic. Even ink. It's a little more. Or ink. Let me put this down or nothing. But this book is worth getting because there's a lot of different styles of art that you're going to see. You're not going to see anywhere else. Gotta flip past this. I want to definitely do some of this. This is kind of marker rendered watercolor, but feels like, yeah, like marker. Doesn't feel like color pencil. This feels like color. It can work. That's you. And this is Sam. If you never picked it up, you should have. It's more digital. We normally see. And yep, this here painted. Gouache or acrylic. I don't think it's ink. It's not that vibrant. That's what I'm saying. Different ways of color rendering a book. There's no such thing as bad drawing. It may be how the method where you colored it. It may be style is not camera pleasing. But I don't think really any bad drawings here. No, this pastelish. Yeah, no, I feel like a pastel. This is nice. I like the texture that you got here. And that's the thing of making a comic book. You need to use textures. It's easy to use. I gotta look at other artists and see if they do an extra work like this is. There we go. And that's Sam. I need to take it in and learn the different artists, the color grading, not just the drawing. Color rendering as well. Drawing, most ones, if you got proper proportion, perspective,
You can do it with a lot of art. You can push more to the cartooning side where you don't have to have so much proper proportions. But you need to know that when you're wrong, you're wrong. And perspective is always good. Gotta be a dynamo. Don't gotta be perfect on the perspective, depending on what kind of comic book you're making. Like this classic comic book. Well, close to classic comic I can find. Yeah, I do render, but I'm looking at the inks. This is something that I definitely need to start back into. Heavy ink. This almost feels flat because of the fact that it almost block colors here. It seems like boop. There's no very little one right here. Could the material itself, that's something I would do. A book on materials and how they look. See, this is another kind of fun. Some comic books, the background is almost the same value, or it seems like the same. There's no fade to the back. It almost seemed that. No complaint artists or the methodology, is just what was the style at the time that this book was being made. So I'm kind of saying this for most of the inks and a reminder. Well, I'm also checking out the Savage Dragon Archive. Now this is one book that I like. Not book, but character that I liked. Because he was just working his regular job. He was trying to be a superhero. He was being a police officer. And it's kind of relatable if you're a minority trying to get into a job that is very not normal to see your people represented, or not that many of the people represented. So he stuck with me for the fact that he was the minority on the side of the law, and most of his kind seemed to be against the law, and some of them were reasons because they were all being treated negatively. So it gets into those aspect issues, you can say. That's why I like Dragon. This book, and I didn't like because it wasn't in color. Didn't know that. No, it's another. I mean, I'm not used to just the black and white. I'm used to the black and white with gray, or some ink wash. Something to kind of break it up, push things back and forward. It was almost overload for my mind. Makes it for me to follow, or more like the person that colors in things I'm looking at going, where's the one, man? How can I color on, man? You know, that's how I'm seeing. But this is what I'm trying to do this ink. Showing rain like that. I have gotten to this point. I don't know if it's a pen or a brush. From this, for me doing it like that. Gotta learn. And that's the good thing about having get to see someone's ink work without the coloring, without any kind of a wash or zipper tone. So it's good for that reason if you really want black and white. I'm not used to it, but I need to get to this, get close to here, because it works, especially when you throw in some color, the foundation. If you can work out this brick house with this layout, yes, perspective, proper proportions, knowing how to draw male or female humans, yeah, oh yeah. But to me, after you get all that, this is about the hurdle to get to. Well, that works. Picked it up, Barry Larson, big archive. It's good to study if you're thinking about inking, getting into more comic book ink style. It'd be a good reference. Just a bare bones white and negative space. Oh yeah, you can know the story. You know what's going on. Know something happened. Uh-oh. It's about to go there. You know this guy ain't serving cake up in it. I finally picked this up. I have gone back to more stuff a long time. I don't know. It kind of, I fell off the X-Men situation. I think the last book I got was Extinction Agent. That was pretty about it. Was done. I was hoping for the Sentinel Wars. And then that Sentinel Wars that Marvel changed and the superheroes will be more like police officers or National Guards, and the vigilante. No need to be a vigilante. No need to be afraid that your state is gonna turn you in or get secret identity and treat you more like an undercop. Secret identity is secret. I was just enjoying this for a lot of special effects. With a sheer comic bookness. Because in my book I would too much explain. No, so I need to reduce it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This entire thing is only a 11-word bubble. That's including English. You get that I don't. To return. Entity. That's the Thank you.